let's have a conversation. What's up, y'all? I'm back, and I'm just going to do a quick recap of the challenge Ride or Dies episode 5. The challenge has been back this season, as I've been saying every single episode. I have loved the season so far. I think they took the best parts of what they got in terms of feedback about how the mainstay challenge was going, which is what we're watching right now, plus the kind of feedback that they were getting from Challenge USA and All Stars, and found a way to combine the best things of the spin-offs and put them into the challenge. The casting is just right. I loved everything about I've loved everything about this season for the most part so far. So we get into the episode. It's showing us what happened at the last episode, which was Kim and Colleen had just finished winning rather easily against Tommy and Annalise. So after they finish the win, they go into the house. Something that they haven't been showing recently, but they started showing now on this new merged form of the challenge. They went to the pool party because we have not been seeing on the Challenge USA. I don't think they showed any partying really. It was pretty boring, and they kind of show party scenes in the mainstay in the last few seasons, but they haven't been showing too much of just downtime in the house. They have a nice pool and people are going in the pool and having a good time. So there was a lot of things going on in the pool. It wasn't really anything super important to the game, but I did take notes of a few things. It was just fun to watch them just having fun in the pool. So it showed Mariah and Bananas were getting close. Mariah said that she thinks that Bananas is cute, but that her mom told her to watch out for him. That's pretty funny to me. It showed Nelson and Olivia getting close again. You know, they were in the pool together. It showed Horacio. Everyone said that his name is pronounced Horacio. So they showed Horacio and Laurel in the pool together. They showed Fessy and Colleen. And after the pool scene, hey, Charmed Life, I assume this one is going to be a much shorter and much less active one than the last one, but that's okay. I want to get through this pretty quickly and then I'm going to call it a night. So we get to the next scene, and Darrell and Veronica are having a conversation about being underdogs. Veronica is kind of saying that she needs to talk to more people and form more bonds because they got on there late and they don't really have any alliances. Darrell is saying he likes being the underdog, which is not surprising. Darrell is one of the most low-key cast members ever. It goes to a scene of Jay and Jack writing a song together, and then they have an emo party where they perform the song. This was just another fun scene, but also something that I noticed the challenge writers do is they foreshadow a lot. So if you really, really pay attention to the show like I do, you know that certain things that they're showing in the confessionals and certain ways that they are doing build-ups are leading to something. So I could tell that they were kind of leading to something with this Jack and Jay friendship that they were trying to play up. Also, more foreshadowing, showing Anissa and Veronica hanging out and saying that they gravitate towards each other, but Veronica saying, I don't know where Anissa stands. So I'm like, this probably is going to mean something later on in the episode. So Michelle, who is Jay's partner, talks to Amber about friction between her and Laurel. This is the second time that she's wanted to go against her partner. Jay has no horse in the race with Laurel. He doesn't really care about Laurel. But Jay is good friends with Jack. He made good friends with Jack. So he wouldn't necessarily want to throw Jack in for that reason. So we get to the daily. Jay and Michelle do very well on Heat 1. Jordan and Anissa come in second. And again, they're giving Jordan a hero's edit in this season clearly. But regardless, I see Jordan as somebody who has changed and grown, and he's grown on me. So I like Jordan now. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I like Jordan now. And I've always been impressed, regardless of his personality, even when I really hated him on the show. I've always been impressed with what he's capable of. Jordan is the man in terms of overcoming obstacles. I just have a note in here about how much I love seeing Fessy fail at these challenges. It wasn't his fault, it was his partner's fault, but I am just enjoying seeing Fessy not doing well. Where are we at here? So the two teams, the team that won Heat 1 was Jay and Michelle, and the team that won Heat 2 was Tori and Devin, who again are a strong team. But ultimately, the winners are Jay and Michelle. So I'm like, this is interesting. We got somebody from the other side of the house in power. So based on the way that Jay was talking all this time, I would kind of expect him to put 4 vet teams in, to be honest with you. But that's not what happened. So more foreshadowing. They show Jack in the confessional saying, same for which part, Charm Life? Oh, you also expected him to put 4 vet teams in. I guess that's what you're saying, same too. So Jack, again, foreshadowing. Jay is my boy, and I know I'm not going in. Like, I feel confident I'm not going in. And if anything you know about watching the challenge, about Fessy losing. If anything you know about watching the challenge, when somebody says they know they're not going in, they're probably going to be going in. So I agree with the 4 vet teams too, though. So the 4 teams that are picked to go in the deliberations: Laurel and Jack, Anissa and Jordan, Kim and Colleen, Darrell and Veronica. And everybody is wondering, why didn't Bananas and Nanny get put in? Because what's his name? Jay has beef with Bananas, and he keeps talking about, oh, this would be the smartest move that we have to do, putting them in, blah, blah, blah. And then they decide not to put them in, and they say that their reason is to get a favor later on in the game. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is kind of a little bit of a desperation move because Jay's number 1 got eliminated from the game, which was the other Johnny. So he was kind of seeing the rookie numbers dwindling, and that's who he was working with. So they might have been thinking maybe we gain a little bit of an edge here. But I don't know. It wouldn't be with Bananas. That's all I know. If I was trying to get that edge with a vet, it would not be Bananas. So we get into these deliberations. It's showing. So I have Veronica is telling Jay and Michelle that she's in awe that they didn't return the favor with Bananas and Nanny, since Bananas and Nanny threw them in. Their reasoning was lame. Bananas is hanging back until endgame. Yeah, Bananas is always going to be dangerous. I didn't even make a note of anything with Kim and Colleen because everyone's doing the same thing with them. They're like, they don't know anybody. They're nice. If they come back, they come back. If they don't, they don't. Who cares? And we could possibly use them as a number. So I don't even have anything of note for their discussion. They get to Jordan and Anissa, who Jordan and Anissa are both. Oh, Jordan and Anissa are both also saying, why didn't they pick Nanny and Bananas? So they're taking some heat for that. So we get to the Laurel and Jack part, and Laurel is just giving the intimidation stare, and I'm like, yo, we got the Laurel that I've been waiting to see is starting to come back. She was just staring Michelle down, and then Michelle says, are you gonna talk? I thought that was really funny. And she was just like, and Laurel responds, are you gonna ask a question? Laurel is an intimidating woman, Charm Life. I would not want to interrogate her. She is an intense and intimidating woman. Sheesh. Definitely Laurel at her best. So after that, that meeting did not go productive, and Jay and Michelle were flustered after that. None of the meetings really went productive. So Bananas and Nanny talked to Jay and Michelle, and in Bananas terms, he's like, we have to butter their balls and tell them that we owe them one. But we know Johnny, he might owe them one, he might not owe them one. I wouldn't put my eggs in the Johnny basket. I love Laurel. I wouldn't want to interrogate her either. So Michelle is trying to politic with everybody, and she ends up trying to talk to Laurel again, one-on-one. Laurel was not trying to hear it, because Laurel was like, if you had wanted to have this conversation with me, you could have had this conversation with me before just throwing me up there. And the conversation just ended. Michelle walked away. Laurel stood strong. Laurel is Laurel. Michelle did not do her research. Don't poke the bear, Michelle. Don't poke the bear. I literally have written in my notes, Laurel doesn't politic. She just tries to win. She does not politic. So let me see. I'm here watching recaps of Real World thanks to you. Hey, welcome back, Vicky. So now, as expected, Laurel and Jack get picked to go into the elimination by Jay and Michelle. And the reason that Jay gives and the reason that Michelle gives is that they don't trust Laurel. It's like, oh, Jack is cool, but we don't trust you, Laurel. I'm like, you're compounding the issue at this point. You should have given a more political answer than that, because you do not want an angry Laurel potentially winning that elimination and coming back in to the house, because your experience in the house will be a lot different if that happens, but we're not there yet. So Jay says Jack was tied to the wrong partner. Listen, y'all, I like Jay. I enjoy Jay on the challenge. He's not the best challenger in terms of the politics part. He's pretty good when it comes to the dailies. He's probably good in the elims. And I think that he could do well in the final, but he's not good with the politics. They were so dumb for sending Laurel and Jack in. They could have saved face if they put another team. I agree. I love Jay, but he is horrible with politics. Yeah, I definitely, I definitely agree with you there. Where are we at here? So Veronica and Darrell wait till last, and the other two teams did not pick the safe dagger. So Veronica and Darrell, by default, got the safe dagger. So you would naturally think, okay, Veronica and Darrell, even if Veronica wonders where she stands with Anissa, you would just automatically think, what ties do they have? What benefit do they have to picking Kim and Colleen? But instead of just flat out just being like, I'm saving Aneesa and Jordan, she gives this big speech about how Aneesa did not make her feel like comfortable, that they're gonna work together, blah blah blah, and kind of makes them sweat instead of just automatically picking them. So I know that Aneesa and Jordan were not feeling that, but ultimately, after the big speech Veronica made, she did the expected thing and the smarter move, I think, for them, which was to save Aneesa and Jordan. Someone pointed out he's already won around half of what Aneesa won in her whole career. If he improves his strategy wise, he could do damage. So where are we at here? Laurel and Jack start off. Production makes it look like Laurel and Jack are not in the lead, but ultimately, Laurel and Jack end up winning. It looked like Kim and Colleen were about to win because this puzzle matching thing that they were doing, they got off to an early lead and they were ready for TJ to check really quickly before Jack and Laurel looked like they were even close. And according to TJ at the end, they were only one off. Kim and Colleen were only one matching thing off from winning, which was pretty interesting. So Jack and Laurel actually had to restart. They didn't have to restart, but they chose to restart their whole puzzle because they couldn't figure out which one was wrong. And Laurel was just like, let's just restart the whole thing. And people were saying that was a vet move. Veronica's speech was great. Shows why she's an OG. I don't know. I mean, it was a good speech, but I don't know strategy wise if that was the best thing to do, but we will see going forward. I don't think Veronica and Darrell have any clout in this game at this point. Laurel's experience was important for that win. Starting over was smart. Yeah. So everybody was like screaming and excited, mostly, except for obviously Jay and Michelle. They they looked like they were like, oh no, what's about to happen here? I thought Laurel was gonna have a bigger celebration because we know Laurel and her celebrations. She did have a big one, but not the same kind of one she had against Ninja. It was kind of tamed compared to that. But I'm so excited to see Laurel go back in that house. And I'm excited to see Laurel be Laurel. I missed her on the challenge. And the funny thing is, she was a villain to me, just like Johnny. They're both villains to me. But now, after so many years of getting these castmates that are good at the challenge but really boring, I love the ones with personalities now that have come back. Jordan, Laurel, Bananas. Like, I never saw myself liking these people, but I do. Yeah, she's grown. I found it funny when Jack said, not many people would find Laurel's screaming voice comforting, but I did. I'm like, that's why he's her ride or die. Because he actually said the screaming was comforting, and she was screaming at him. Oh, I'm excited to. Yeah, actually, even though I didn't hate her as much as I hated Bananas, I found her to be like an endearing villain, if that even makes sense. But it makes sense to me. So Fessy says he lost his cuddle buddy. Ooh, too bad. But then it shows in the preview for the next episode, Fessy found a new cuddle buddy named Laurel. So that should be interesting. Where are we at? So Michelle rates her week in power a 2 out of 10. And I agree. So, like I said, Horacio, they showed like a scene in the previews of him saying that him and Laurel had a misunderstanding. And of course, misunderstanding happens. Messy Fessy jumps in. Messy Fessy lost his cuddle buddy. Misunderstanding with Horacio. Horacio, he already feels he feels threatened about him because I guess the women like him on the show and he wants to be the top dog that most of the women like. And yeah, it was another good episode. I am looking forward to the next episode. The challenge is back. I've thoroughly enjoyed it so far, and I know that it's only going to get better as time goes on. Banana still annoys me, but less than Fessy. Fessy will cuddle with anyone. Fessy will cuddle with the dog. He's mad Horacio's in the house, is the house husband, and Fessy's the dirty secret. That's funny. But yeah, thank you all for checking out my live. Like I said, this one was going to be a short one. I thought about postponing it till tomorrow, but the show happened Wednesday. I took the notes this morning, and I was not going to be able to remember this, even with notes, in great detail. I actually took the time during the break in between me doing that Big Brother feed to watch part of the episode again because I had certain notes in here that I couldn't even remember visually what happened. So it was time sensitive to me. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. And I'll see you next week for the episode 6 recap. Talk to y'all later.